Hey guys, welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs. We're going to continue our series on Mizzou head into fall camp, previewing the five biggest storylines. We're going to rank them at the end, so keep an eye out for that. This time, we're talking about the wide receiver core. Before we begin, please guys go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and on Spotify. All right, wide receiver core. It is inevitably one of the biggest storylines for Missouri simply because it is a time of transition. Missouri lost a lot. Of course, the headlining one, Luther Burden, he's gone. Theo Wease, he's gone. Mookie Cooper, he's gone. Look further down the depth chart from a year ago. Some of the key reserves and guys that they were thought to be keys for 2025. Makai Miller, he transferred out. Courtney Crutchfield, he transferred out. Missouri is not 100%, but largely starting from scratch at wide receiver. So, yeah, there are questions. The good news for Missouri is that there's a lot of potential. Potential it's the best word you can use because not much is proven in what I think will be the starting lineup and honestly the entire two deep. The one exception to that, St. Louis's own Kevin Coleman Jr. transferring in, kind of sliding in right to Luther Burden's spot in the slot, coming in from Mississippi State. You'll remember Mizzou played against him in Starkville last year. One of the better returning receivers in the SEC. He's now wearing the black and gold, and he's going to start if he's healthy. Let's face it. So that it kind of takes care of itself. And honestly, it's not going to be that different. He's not as explosive as Luther Burden. There's not that, okay, he could break every single one, quite like Luther Burden, but he's no slouch and he is explosive. So he is the type of guy where defenses will have to account for him, similar to Luther Burden. Maybe not the same degree, but similar. You look at other starters. Well, returning, Marquise Johnson, the speedster. He's he's an interesting case. We know he's a burner. We know he's capable of huge plays. There's just been times where there's been mental errors with penalties. Sometimes the hands aren't there. It's about putting it together for him. Maybe just kind of knowing that he is going to be counted on as a key guy. Maybe that's all he needs. We'll see. We know what he's capable of. With his speed, he is capable of taking the top off the defense and to dragging those safeties deeper down the field and giving room for Coleman to just wreak havoc on those intermediate routes and so forth. I'm excited to see what Josh Manning is going to do. He's got pretty good size at 6'2", 213. And he looks and kind of plays bigger than that, I feel like. Maybe not much taller, but he's a big, strong receiver, I feel like. He's shown signs. He he had a touchdown in the bowl game against Iowa. It's all there. I think this is his time to really step up and become a starter similar to Theo Wease, I think. So those three receivers, I think, kind of have the inside track, and it's going to be important for them. They have got to maybe not be Luther Burden and Theo Wease and Mookie Cooper, but they've got to be enough of a threat that a defense has to respect them. If a defense doesn't respect them, they're going to throw eight in the box and say, "Go ahead and try and beat us one on one. We don't think you can." And then Missouri trying to play complementary football gets that much more difficult if there's eight in the box and Ahmad Hardy has nowhere to go because there's defenders everywhere, right? You talk about complementary football, and traditionally you talk about running the football to set up the pass. Well, you have to be a threat throwing the football for the run to be respected. Otherwise, as I said, the defense will just dare you to throw over the top one on one. And if you can't throw and you don't have receivers who can catch run routes or are a threat, you're kind of stuck. So those are the three I think will be counted on. But again, a lot of potential, and that goes even further on the depth chart. Looking first, the true freshman incoming, Donovan Olubade. He has a high ceiling, top 100 recruit coming from the IMG Academy down in Florida. This was one that Missouri just kind of came out of nowhere, grabbed him, and in spring ball, summer workouts, yeah, there's signs that, yeah, this dude is going to play. He's just that good. Um, start, maybe if someone's hurt or something, but I think he'll see the field, and I think he'll be a guy that Missouri fans are very pleasantly surprised by. I think he's going to be very explosive, and maybe not this season, but before it's said and done, he's going to be awesome. I think you look also, the redshirt freshman, James Madison, Prez Madison, number 4. As a history nerd, I love the fact that he goes by Prez and wears 4. James Madison was the 4th president of the United States. I love it. Side note. You look at him at 6'3". Uh, he is capable of kind of being that outside threat, and I think he has a chance to really make his mark. Looking even further down, Daniel Blood. You don't hear much about him, but he was making meaningful catches down the stretch. You wouldn't expect it. Doesn't get the hype, but look out for him. Sean Terry, another freshman, does not get the hype that Alubade does. Was not quite as highly touted of a recruit, but look out for him. He's another guy who might be able to sneak up and get some snaps. I'm looking at the depth chart here. You also have incoming true freshman Demarion Folks. That's an interesting guy. I think that's someone who you may see early on in the season, especially again the 6 home games. Get him in there, see what he's got, because this is potential. Aside from Coleman and to some extent Johnson, no one's proven that yes, I belong in the starting lineup. I think Josh Manning will do that rather quickly. I think he's going to be, honestly, your number 2. I think you're going to look at Coleman and Manning similar to Burden and Wease. I think that those two will be that combo. I think Speedy Johnson has the opportunity to be a different variation of that Mookie Cooper role. I think he is the X factor because he has the speed. He's the guy who can do that home run ball and, as I said, take the top off the defense. The key for this wide receiver core, guys, is with this potential, some of it must be realized, at least enough that defenses have to respect the threat of the pass. And it's going to be more of a committee approach, I think. Luther Burden, his numbers at the end of the day last year were not spectacular. Well, yeah, that's true. And some of it was him being banged up. Some of it he had drops here and there, more than you might expect. But a lot of it is just because everyone knows he's so explosive that there was a safety over the top kind of spying him, and he rarely had one-on-one coverage. I think you're going to have more of that out of Missouri's receivers because Coleman, to an extent, as I mentioned, but otherwise, there's not really that proven guy that is, oh my gosh, he could score anytime he touches the ball. So I think that will open things up for more one-on-one coverage, more opportunities for guys to make plays, and I think that will invite a more committee approach out of the wide receiver core. So we'll see what happens with that, guys. I could be totally wrong. Maybe Kevin Coleman goes for 1,200 yards or something. We'll see. Uh, Keep it tuned here to Under the Arch Sports. We will continue our preview of fall camp. Until next time, thank you for watching Under the Arch Sports.